Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because this video I'm sharing today is sponsored by Michaels, and I'm going to show you how to make gift tags with the Cricut Explore Air 2 and the Cricut Foil Transfer Kit. Michaels Stores has a large variety of cutting machines, accessories, and materials. You can also find even more online. I'll have links for the supplies I used in today's video in my description box below if you want to make this project as well. I would also love it if you subscribe to my channel if you are new, and let's get into the tutorial. First, what I'm going to do is grab everything that I need for my project. I'm going to be using Cricut Design Space images, so I'm going to go over and click on that. First, I'm going to search for my tag, so I'll just type in tag. I'm going to use this one here, and this one's actually a free one in Cricut Design Space. Then I'm going to go up and grab my two images. I'm going to grab a reindeer. The one I decided to go with was this one. As you can see down in the right corner, it's saving these for me, so you can go through and select all the images you want. It'll be saved down here, so it'll insert it all at the same time. Then I'm going to grab my Christmas tree. You can see the A here. That means that these images are Cricut Access images, and since I subscribe to Cricut Access, I am able to use all of those images under that. For my gift tags, I want it to say Merry Christmas. You can use a writing font in Cricut Design Space, but I actually found an image. I'm going to go over to my filters, and I'm going to hit the plus sign for art type. Then I am going to select draw only since I'm using my foil tool. Now I'm going to type in Merry Christmas. This is the one that I'm going to use. The foil tool works best with drawing images or fonts. Now I have all four selected. I'm going to insert them into Cricut Design Space. I'm going to be making two different gift tags. So the first thing that I'm going to do is put that together. I want one more tag, but first I am going to size this. I want it to be 3.5 inches tall, so I will go up to my height, then select 3.5 and hit enter. I'll let it just automatically adjust the width. And now that I adjusted the size, I will hit duplicate so they are both the same size. My gift tags are going to be a tannish color, so I'm going to go up and change the color. You don't absolutely have to do that for these tags, but I like to just visualize it a little bit better. It's kind of a tan color, so I'm just going to change it to that. Then I'll change this one as well, and it just helps to visualize everything. Now I'm going to bring my tree over here and make it smaller. I decided I wanted to put the images down in the bottom right corner. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so it's a little easier to see it. I'm going to bring my reindeer over here also. I'm just going to right click and send the tag to the back. And I'll make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to be slicing these images out of the tag, but first I want to line up my Merry Christmas. Now I'm just going to duplicate this and bring it over to the other tag. I want to make sure that Merry Christmas is centered, so I am going to highlight over the gift tag and just Merry Christmas. Then I'm going to go up to a line and hit center horizontally. You can see it moved it just a tiny bit, and I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I like how these images are lined up, so now I'm going to select over the Christmas tree and the tag. Then I'm going to come down here and select slice. I'm going to bring this out of here. I'll just delete these. Then I want to move this to the back, and that's how it looks sliced out. I'm going to do the same thing for the reindeer. I'll send this to the back again. So I like how all of that looks. Now the last thing that I'm going to do is I want the Cricut to use the foil transfer tool on Merry Christmas. So I need to change that to foil. I have this selected. I'm going to go up to my line type. Then I will select the drop down. I am going to switch it to foil. There's 3 different choices: fine, medium, and bold. I like to just click on each one to see what I think looks the best. So if I click on bold, I'm going to go over to my red since I'll be using red foil, And that's what the bold looks like. I'm going to try a different one for the next one just to kind of compare them. I might do medium and change it to red. I'll just show you what fine looks like also. So that's kind of the difference between those. I think I'm just going to go with medium. I like how that one looks the best, but they all look cute. It's kind of hard to decide. I like how those look on these tags. I thought it looked cute on the bottom right, and you can also write to and from on the side. These tags aren't super big, so there might not be a lot of room, but you can also write it on the back as well. The last step that you need to do is highlight over the tag and Merry Christmas. You can see over here those two layers are selected, and you'll want to attach that together. If you want to select these a different way, you can click on Merry Christmas, then hit Shift on your keyboard, then select the next image. So you can see that these two are selected in the Layers panel, then click Attach again. Now that I have my Merry Christmas set to foil, I have these attached and sized. I'm also going to double check that I have the right machine up here. I'm going to be using my Explore Air 2, and now I can just click on Make It. With the foil tool, this section of the project is important because you want the foil to line up right where it's going to draw. What works best for me is just moving this over. I'm going to have the foil start under 1 inch, so I'll have room for the tape up here, and then I'll bring it 1 inch over, so I'll have room for the tape again. And then I'm just going to bring this one right next to it. Now I'll click Continue. I'm using Kraft Board for this project. I have my Explore dial set to custom. Then I'm going to go to Browse All Materials. But for my Kraft Board, I need to increase the pressure just a little bit. I recommend always doing test cuts on your material to make sure it cuts all the way through. So I'm going to go to my material setting, then find my Kraft Board setting. Here it is. It cuts 2 times, but it still wasn't fully cutting all the way through. So I'm going to go to Edit, and you can go in here and change this. So I'm actually going to change it to 320. I'll hit Save. If you ever want to go back and change it, you can just go to Edit and hit Reset. You'll want to go down to the bottom and hit Done. I'm going to hit Yes to save our changes. Then you'll want to go back to Browse All Material and find your Kraft Board setting. It's actually right here. It comes up with what materials are compatible with the foil tool. So these are all the ones that are compatible. I'll select this, then hit Done. This screen is really helpful, so you'll want to always check this. It looks like it's telling me to load my fine point tool in first, and then it'll cut it second. It also shows that the foil should be face up. So now I'll just show you how I do this on my Cricut machine. The material I'm using for my gift tags is Cricut Kraft Board. I like to use this for tags because it is a thicker material, which makes it nice and sturdy. This pack comes with 20 12x12 sheets. I placed my Kraft Board on my green Cricut cutting mat. This mat was nice and clean, but you might need the purple mat if it's not sticking down well. I purchased these Cricut Foil Transfer Sheets from Michaels. This pack comes with 3 different color sheets and tape as well. I chose this because I wanted red for my foil color. I'm taking one of the red sheets and some tape out of the package. I also like to keep the other stored in this original package. Look how pretty this red foil is, and it's perfect for Christmas projects. I'm lining up the foil where we placed it in Cricut Design Space, which was about 1 inch down and 1 inch over. This will give enough room for the tape. I also want to mention you don't want your foil touching your Cricut cutting mat at all, so that is another reason I like to bring it down a little. Next, I placed the tape on. As I set it down, it wasn't completely flat, so I picked it back up and flattened it again. You want the foil to be as flat as possible, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm going to switch out my blade with my transfer tool. Here's the 3 tips that the transfer kit comes with. I'm using the medium, so I grab the one with 2 lines. The tool has a magnet that will pull that in easily. Next, I load my mat into the Cricut machine. You'll want to make sure your white star wheels are moved all the way over to the right on your rollers. I press the C button for it to start. The transfer tool uses pressure to adhere the foil to the material, which is really cool. After the Cricut is done with the foil tool, it'll come up with this message in Cricut Design Space. It says, important, do not unload the mat, so I did not do that. It says to remove the red foil, then it says to load the fine point blade, then press the Cricut C button. I removed the foil sheet, and here's how it looks after it's transferred onto the Kraft board. It just looks so cool, and I even think it looks prettier in person. You can't reuse the part of the foil that transferred, but I like to cut around that to keep what wasn't used. Now I'm going to switch out my transfer tool with my fine point blade. I love this blade organizer. You can find this at Michael's also. Next, I press the Cricut C and it'll start cutting out the tags. After that's done, I unload the cutting mat and bend the mat backwards to remove the material from the mat. I bought this Christmas twine from Michael's. I cut off 2 pieces, then tied it through the gift tags. Here's how the Christmas gift tags turned out. They were so fun to make, and I love that you can personalize these however you like. I'm excited to add these to my gift wrapping this year. Once again, you can pick up all of the materials I used at Michael's stores in person or online. They have a huge variety, and I have a great shopping experience whenever I shop there. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you are new. I would love to have you here.